So, Aidan, I really appreciate you coming on and giving us some of your time and hitting us with some of your views. It's going to be very interesting.
Absolutely. Thank you, Robert, for having me. Pleasure to be here, and I'm excited to see what kind of value I can bring to your audience today.
Thank you. Talking of value, in addition to being the CEO of your company, Green Marketing, you do other things. So, why don't you tell people a little bit about yourself so they get an understanding of your experience, but also your broader experience?
Yeah, absolutely. I'll try to keep it short as well. I'm the founder and CEO as well as the COO, with the emphasis on COO or green marketing. So that's my agency. We serve lawn and landscaping industry exclusively. That's our niche. I've been doing that for about 13 years now. On the other side of the fence, I'm part of a mastermind group called Seven Figure Agency. It's operated by Josh Nelson, and I've been a member there for about 3 years. About halfway through, I became the operations coach for the whole group. So I am the operations coach for roughly 300 to 400 agency owners, and they come to me with questions of all different shapes and sizes, right? And that's because, like I said earlier, emphasis on COO and bold, right? That's who I am in my heart. That's my passion is operations and everything within that bucket. That's a quick little kind of intro and who I am, but I'm also like a collector of some hobbies with that. Big Gary Vee fan, if you haven't tell by the quote above my head. And yeah, I just love making an impact.
That is superb. And actually, thinking of where I was going to head next, which is on trends with your experience and everything you do, especially operationally. What are the major things you're seeing changing in the agency world at the moment?
Oh, well, definitely AI. I think that's where my mind goes to. It's the most obvious answer. AI is going to change everything. It already has. It's going to continue to do so multiple times. So I promise you that whatever you're building with AI right now in your agency, in a year from now, is likely going to be obsolete, and you're going to need to build something else with AI, right? But that's kind of the game that we play here with the marketing world, is it is constantly changing, and people in this industry know that with like Google and Facebook and all these algorithms, right? That update, but AI is just a more of a major shift, and we're still seeing where that's going to take us over the next 3 to 5 years, I would say.
Yeah, if not more. I don't know about you. I think back. I think the only thing that's ever hit with this kind of depth is probably the internet as the impactor on business. Can you think of anything else that has impacted marketing to such a degree as this?
Well, Robert, I'm a little on the younger side. I do feel like I'm getting old. I don't really remember a world without internet.
That is
So
true.
it's hard for me to say, but based on my understanding of history and things like this, yeah, massive evolution there and innovation and Web 2.0, Web 1.0, and then Web 2.0, and then we have Web 3.0 with the blockchain and
Yeah,
things like that with currency and cryptocurrency, and then AI is it's bigger than all of that combined.
absolutely. So can you think of things that AI are impacting now? Obviously, it's easy to pick on some of the sales and marketing, but on the operational side, I'm intrigued to learn a little bit more than the audience is intrigued to on the operational side, because some people aren't as adept at using AI operationally.
Yeah, well, just like everything, you have to be curious about it and you have to be serious about it as well. Don't push it off to the side and just think it's going to go away. Right? We still have clients in the landscaping space who they're not even on Google and they think, oh, I don't need to be on Google. Right? Like, forget Google. You're about to be just completely left in the dust with AI. So you have to be real serious about it, take it seriously, and start to get familiar with it. And as far as operationally, it's really going to depend on what it is that you do
Hmm.
that you're trying to solve for. I'll give you an example. When you use when you use AI to generate content, the output is pretty poor and generic. Typically, when you have like a basic prompt, right? They call it AI slop. And it's usually you can tell typically when somebody used AI to make a company, you can tell. But what we've done at my agency, thanks to a peer who kind of led the way with this, we're making custom GPTs or custom AI models for specific purposes. So one specific GPT model, its purpose is to create SEO rich blog articles. And what we do is a lot of different parameters, a lot of different instructions on what to do, and then we give it a knowledge base. And so the knowledge base is going to consist of hundreds, if not thousands, of blog articles that our professional writing team has created for our niche of landscapers, following our procedures, following our training and our documentation. And so it has these references to go off of. So now the output that it delivers is tailored to this. And nobody else has that output available unless they make a model similar to this, which they won't really be able to do because they won't have the knowledge base that we have. Otherwise, they would be stealing our content, right? Which is illegal.
Exactly.
So when you do it in this way and take it to another level, we're about to get rid of our content team because we don't need them anymore. And when I say that, we actually had to fire our last content writer because he wasn't fitting the script anymore. And before I went to hire somebody, I'm like, hey, let's see if we can just do this. And it turns out we can. So our director in that department is leading the charge with all this stuff. And she's going to make it where we just have a virtual assistant, puts in a prompt, submits a blog, and then cleans it up a little bit. Looks for a couple things. So instead of 2 hours that it would take to write an SEO-rich blog, and who knows if it's done right by a human, we're taking 2 or 3 minutes to produce a better, consistent output. That's huge.
And so you're using I presume you're using the director for the intelligence about what we could possibly blog on, or do you even have prompts now working out what are the best things to blog on by checking?
Yeah, so, that's all going to go into the instructions. It's all
Hmm.
going to go into the database and the knowledge base. Here's 1,000 blog articles about sod and mulch and artificial turf and pavers and retaining walls. So it'll have these things to reference and be able to come up with creative solutions instead of just the generic stuff.
That is cool. Do you use AI in any way to communicate with your current customers?
Yes and no in a bit. A bit, right? A little bit. So
Hmm.
what I mean by that is not directly, like it's not like a chat bot or a messenger bot or whatever. We are working on an AI receptionist. So when somebody calls us and we don't answer, it'll be an
Hmm.
AI who hopefully sounds like a human, right? But a tool that I use that you might want to check out, Robert, is called Whisper Flow, and it's a voice dictation tool. So just like any voice to text, right? You click a button, you record your voice, and it sends a text. This one is really good. It very rarely gets it wrong with typos or whatever. But also, you can speak to it like an AI and give it different commands, and it'll know that you're giving it a command instead of asking it to write something out. So you can say, "Oh, whoops, that last sentence that I said, I didn't mean to say that. Replace it with this." Or make sure you put a period here, or make sure these last 5 things that I mentioned is a bullet list. And it'll know that you're saying this and it'll do it on your behalf.
Oh,
Uh,
wow.
you can also ask it to research things for you. It connects with Perplexity, which is another,
Hmm.
and it'll voice command, research, and a lot of really cool stuff. So I've been using that to, send messages, to text, to do emails, and just blaze through it within minutes, right?
That's cool. And other people are using AI to help give them a view of their customer health. Have you tried any of that?
No, I can see where it would come into play. Fortunately, at our agency, we have really good systems and structure, so
Okay,
we're already gathering data to look at this stuff, and then we
gotcha.
have like spreadsheets with different KPIs, right?
That makes sense.
But what I personally use AI for the most is as a thinking partner. So whenever I'm strategizing or planning or whatever, I'll get into Grok, the Twitter or
Hmm.
X AI,
Yeah.
Elon Musk AI, and I'll do it's like a voice chat with the AI, and I'll just chat with it and talk to it. And here's what I want to do. Here's my ideas. What are other agencies doing? What would Gary Vee do? What would Alex Hormozy do? What are the risks associated with this? Right? And just brainstorm with it. And that's been incredibly good for my efficiency and
Hmm.
catching, issues before they arise. It's been pretty huge in that way.
That makes a lot of sense. So if you think about everything that you're doing, is there some things that are frustrating you? What is frustrating you in the industry at the moment, or in the marketing industry, maybe?
I don't think that I necessarily get frustrated anymore because I'm used to it and I understand it. But in my industry of landscapers, and I think this is everywhere, but specifically in my industry, a major lack of education on what marketing actually is, like what good marketing really means, and how to make it work. And, it's to be expected with a bunch of blue collar guys who are out in the field doing physical labor like landscaping every day. The last thing on their mind is Google Ads or SEO and how to do that, right? So I'm not necessarily frustrated by it, but it is a big pain point in the industry and in business. And the idea of, like I mentioned earlier, these guys aren't even on Google yet. Forget AI, right? Like when they hear AI, they laugh at it, they scoff, they think it's a Chinese whatever ploy. The funny part about that is they said the same thing to cell phones, to the iPhone, to the smartphone, the BlackBerry. We all had like our beepers and our two ways before, and I'll never go into that, right? Now look at them,
Yeah.
and eventually they're going to be in the VR headsets and VR glasses and all this tech because tech is a solution and it creates convenience. And no matter what that is, people do things out of convenience all the time, even if it's bad for them, right?
Yeah.
So tech doesn't care. If the innovation is big enough and good enough, it's just going to take over society, and you're going to end up using it. So you might as well be one of the first to use it, right? You might as well use it
Yeah.
ASAP and get ahead of it and take advantage of that. That way you're not in last place.
Makes a lot of sense. So if you think about it, and you alluded to it, what do you see being, the big challenges and the big changes in the next 12 months?
I don't know if it's going to be 12 months. It might be. So I'll use this as an example.
Hmm.
Marketing is really all about attention. And, if you listen to Gary Vee, you're probably going to say, Aiden, you're just repeating what he says. I'm sorry, but I just think he's right. So forgive me.
It's legit.
So it's all about attention. Wherever the attention is, you need to be there. And that's how you market. That's how you get customers and grow your business. For my industry of landscaping, for really local contractors, right? HVAC, plumbing, electricians, the way that customers find you is on Google. So they're going to
Hmm.
search up landscaper near me, right? With a search engine. And at some point in the future, that's going to change dramatically because it'll be inconvenient. So you could say, hey Siri, or I don't want to say Alexa because she's going to hear me, but hey Siri, find me the best landscaper near me, right? And very quickly it's going to do a scan. It's going to look at reviews. It's going to look at social media posts about these businesses. And it's going to give you the best of the best in your area, how far they are, their phone number. And it might even say, do you want me to call these people and get a quote, right? So Google goes away for you. Google goes away. So it's like, okay, if Google goes away, how do I get my business there? Is that voice? Is that Amazon Alexa? Is that ChatGPT and OpenAI? Is that Grok? Is that wherever it is? It's going to be a big shift. It might be with Google still. It just might be a different way of searching it.
Yeah.
So whenever this happens, there will be major movement in the marketplace of for agencies because we have to figure out how to make this work for businesses. And if we don't, then we can expect them to pay us to grow the business, right? And we're starting to see a little bit about that. If you try to Google stuff like, sorry, if you try to use ChatGPT for stuff, hey,
Hmm.
find me a landscaper near me, like it'll do that pretty good, right? It's just not at scale yet.
Yeah.
Eventually, people are going to have very, very smart homes. I know, like, some people have that already, but you're just going to have it where you just speak out loud and you're by your refrigerator and you're by your TV and it hears you and it picks it up and it puts it on the flat screen, right? Like, this stuff is real already for people. So it's going to happen at
Absolutely.
scale eventually.
It certainly is. And it's going to be a very, very interesting 12, 18 months. It could be quicker, as you said. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's going to be fascinating. And to your point, you do have a bunch of things that you have to, as an agency, master to make it a success.
Well, I think we all do. I think everybody does. As human, well, especially in business, right?
Yeah,
Agency, if you're a landscaper, etc. I mean, you just have to be resilient and curious and stay. You can't get stuck in your ways. And you see major companies like corporations get stuck in their ways,
mm.
and then they go bye bye, right? Like Toys R Us, right? Look what happened to them. How do you let that go? How do you fail with that? Somebody got stuck in their ways, right? And didn't want to innovate. But again, tech doesn't care about how you feel. It just cares about convenience and efficiencies. And here's another example that I heard from good old Gary. He said that, and I love this, by the way. He said that eventually a refrigerator is going to know that you like Diet Pepsi or Coke Zero. And when you run to, instead of 5 cans of Coke Zero, and now you're at 3, it's going to know that you're running low. And it's automatically going to order the Coke Zero for you. And it's going to be delivered to your house, or maybe every Friday it looks for this stuff, right? It's going to be automated.
Yeah.
Imagine,
And I think a lot of us will be very appreciative when it does that because I don't have time for it.
I would hope we would. But there's a lot of people out there who are like demonizing that and they're afraid of it and, just closed minded individuals. But the thing is you're going to use it eventually anyways.
Yeah,
Because
it'll just take him a long time to get to it.
so do it right away as soon as it's available.
I agree with you. And I really appreciate we're coming up to time. I really appreciate giving your point of view. Is there any other thing that you want to add?
No, man. I mean, AI is, pretty innovative, pretty huge. I would just encourage people to stay curious, listen to content, use it yourself, do research. If you like history, you're really gonna love AI because it's gonna do crazy research for you and help you understand history and use it to play devil's advocate, right? And it's gonna be really fun for you, and you'll see the utility behind it and the value, especially in business, right? Like at the end of the day, this is what this is for business, the podcast, anyways. And
Yeah,
you're gonna have a successful business and grow, then you need to adapt. And I'm not even like a huge AI advocate. I don't make like content on AI. I'm not like an AI influencer. I'm just an agency owner who uses it and its processes. We leverage it. It's not all of our processes. We just leverage it. So I'm not even like the AI guru guy. Right? I'm just the business owner who sees it works and thinks that people need to use it. And I wasn't even really expecting that we go all in on AI today, but facts are that it's pretty important. So,
and that's the way it went. So I really appreciate your time. Thank you so much.
oh man, appreciate it.